Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another CYFS podcast. Very big installment this week. We're previewing another 3 teams, and we've also got a very special winner amongst us. It's also a big night for other reasons. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go first to Donnie in the apple colour. How are you, Donnie?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Jared. Great to be on the call again. Week 2, the previews just keep rolling. So three more teams. We get to the 6, and can't wait to get into Apple. That's for sure.
Yes, the Apple captain is on site tonight. He's also got a trophy with him. We'll talk about that very shortly. Josh Scadella, welcome back.
Hello, Chock. Hello, panel members. Hello, CYFS community. Good to be back.
Now, we're not going to the president tonight because this is actually the first podcast he's ever missed.
Ever.
So we are going to his right-hand man, the 2IC, Jimmy Morrison.
Hello all. How are we?
All hail the president.
Yeah, big
the Prez is
tonight, Jimmy.
The Prez is tied up with junior commitments again. He's run the junior program, so I think he might be out next week as well. Those juniors are giving him a workout. So So unfortunately, Ian couldn't be with us.
Yep, we will roll on.
And so Tony too. He couldn't be here. He couldn't be here either. Antonio, but that's all right.
Sorry, Well, when the president misses his first ever podcast, it just overshadows everything else. So yes,
big news.
Tony has sent in his predictions as well. We'll be getting to those. But let's go to it. I'm sure he wants to talk all about it. Josh, Sunday afternoon, Brighton Lakes, history was made.
Yeah. I would say the front 9 was possibly the best golf I've ever played.
Yep.
I think I turned 1 under. I'm happy to get stat checked off the stick. 24 points. It was quite remarkable. I was in the sort of final 4 group. Myself, Steve Stav, current reigning champion, JD, and the president himself. I knew I was on a good score. I didn't realise I had 24 until we went to score after 9. I knew I was going okay, but I think, just everything came together. It's quite remarkable.
Stars aligned. It's quite a score, 24 points, 9 holes. Quite incredible.
It was good. I think the other guys, Stav and JD, didn't have great starts. I think they were pretty good. After like the 4th or 5th hole, they were pretty consistent. You never wrote off the Prez ever. So that's just the Prez.
Yeah.
But, I just think the front 9, like when we sort of turned and we shared our scores, I think hearing 24, it was just a massive score. Like I just couldn't believe it. Like
you don't hear 24 very often in a Stableford score, especially
people
would love to have that off 18 holes. So now that you've seen it, I know Jimmy, Chock and I spoke about it last week on the podcast when we had our views out at Brighton Lakes. Like obviously you made the course look easy, but like you said, you shot the lights out. What do you believe you have to be good at out there now that you've played the course?
Look, cliche, obviously, chipping and putting, obviously, but I think the biggest thing at Brighton Lakes is your tee shot has to be in the right spot. Because if you miss, for example, if you're left on a fairway when you should have been right on the fairway, you can't hit it the hole. Camden Lakeside, Georges River, to an extent, in years gone by, you could sort of just hit it as hard as you wanted, be sort of 50 metres either way, and generally speaking, you'd have a crack. Brighton Lakes, there's at least, I'm not the longest hitter by any stretch. There's at least 3 or 4 par 4s I hit 4 iron, just because like there was no need for me to hit it long, because long straight was trouble. I think on 2 holes I could think of, Stav and Suarez hit drivers, just hit it too long and too straight into a hazard.
Yeah.
So I think that sort of stuff. Off the tee, you've got to be spot on.
Yeah.
And this is the first year we haven't gone with caddies. You were famously a caddy of Jimmy Morrison when he won back in the day to be on that trophy the next year.
Yep.
Who would you have chosen in the CYFS community to be your caddy on the day if you had the choice?
James Morrison. I asked James Morrison, and he wrote back, "Who's this?"
New number, who this?
No, all in all,
Jimmy didn't go out there.
Oh, mate, I would have been playing in it if I had a chance. But
supposedly it was someone's mum's birthday. So I don't know. Every time he talks to the Morrisons, there's another birthday party popping up. He's the Aussie George Kickle fair income. The Morrisons. There's a relative in Newcastle. So I don't know.
I can't wait
They're
for
away
Josh
every
to start that
weekend.
indoor cricket team. So it doesn't turn up every week.
No, look, I will say we had 16 in total. 15 in total. 7 of us were playing the Kingfruit Kup final. Kingfruit Cup's over for another year. Committee's going to hash out maybe some changes. I've locked in some courses for next year. I can confirm 2 courses we've locked in are Cabramatta and Campbelltown, to name a few. Watch this space. I will be not anytime super soon, but probably very early in January, I'll be releasing someone will be releasing the dates, times, etc. for KK 2025. Also, I think there might be a name change, considering chatting to Kevin Dart, Kingfruit doesn't actually exist anymore. So, no, sorry, he said Kingfruit exists because he's still paying for the name, but they're not actually trading. So, that'll also, we might be Southern Hand Therapy Cup or something like that.
Oh, Georgie kick. Well, you could damage your hand on the cup there, as you can see, a bit spiky. So it might be.
It's lost a few prongs over the years.
See, well, you could damage something else with it. I believe you, me.
Oh goodness!
So that's pretty much Kingfruit Kup wrapped up for another year. Congratulations, Josh. We are going to preview a few teams. We were going to go in order that they were drawn out, but we're having trouble getting people on. People are very busy on their Wednesdays. So we're actually going to preview some different teams this week. And I believe my team is one of them. Jimmy, have we got anyone in the lobby yet?
No. Greenery is empty at present.
That's
See what? It's a well-oiled machine, isn't it? It's a well-oiled machine. Okay, Jimmy,
let's talk about the team then before we get these people into the lobby. This is obviously
Don
Team
just
Royal.
said to me, he's downloading teams now.
Perfect.
Very good. Obviously, this is your team, Chock, and you get to lead this team to a tilt this year at this year's tournament. So yourself in A grade, Reece Jarvis in B grade, Dominic Johnston C grade, Colin Chapman D grade. Quite the side. We'll get our predictions a lot later on. But DJ obviously coming up from D grade this year. Does that bode well?
It does. I think he's a guy who's snuck into D grade for quite a few years now. I think he's sort of taking the piss in D grade a bit. I believe he was in the team that came second last year. So that kind of shows that maybe they had some strong guys in grades, and he was probably one of them. Plays a fair bit of golf. Last I heard, handicap of around 26, which I'm more than happy with.
Really? Is he actually?
Yep.
Okay. Wow, that's okay. That's pretty good.
So, yeah.
That's almost B2.
Yeah. How's he? Jesus. He's better than Ben Jones. Love you, Benny.
Well, he's also, don't forget, he's also the Jack Newton.
Well, I didn't want to. I do get smashed a lot for bringing up left-handers, but he is the current Jack Newton Award winner.
Yeah.
Finished second. So credit to him,
He does good work. Obviously, you've got probably one of the form D graders of the competition, Colin Chapman. He's played the course twice now in the past month. Has he given you any insights into how you should approach the day? He was great last year, so I'm sure he'll continue that form along.
Look, I will be taking a different tact this year compared to. I'm learning from the mistakes of others. Let's just put it that way. I believe certain teams made mistakes last year that I won't be replicating. And Colin Chapman is a very classy D grader. I think the best thing for him is just to take it easy. We have a nice, calm, smooth approach into the Invitational.
I spoke at length this afternoon to someone who played with Colin Chapman on Sunday at Brighton Lakes. he chose to remain anonymous. But Rob Scadella did say that Chapman was actually pretty handy on Sunday. Like, good for a D grade. He said he'd be very, very happy with Chappers. So, bit of food for thought.
Funny you mention that because the man joins us live
on
the podcast as we speak. Colin Chapman, you're just getting a rousing reception from one Robert Scadella who you played with on the weekend.
Are you held captive?
Blink twice.
Where does that come from?
I don't know, the way you were looking at the screen there, looks like you were just there.
I was just trying to figure out who was here and who was missing.
Live from North Korea, Colin Chapman.
This
Sam
is
just
a
had the
nice
duct tape
place.
off his mouth.
They are very welcoming here.
Chappers, very good. Obviously previewing your side tonight. We will be joined by your C grader Dom Johnson in a few moments as well. You've obviously been in the tournament. I think this will be your 7th year now in a row. Is that correct?
8th
Did you join year 2?
Huh?
8th year. Obviously, you played there. You played every tournament. Played every tournament, not every hole. Correct. That's our favourite stats.
Yeah.
You got drawn alongside a man who sits to your right, sits on the throne of the committee, Jared Wells. How did you feel when his name got called out as your captain?
Well, I was okay up until last week when you yourself, Dan, decided to have an attack and my A grader didn't decide to defend me. You sat there in silence. I'm like, come on, mate, say something.
Was this on the
You
podcast?
don't want to hear what we've just said, so.
I'm sure I know what you said.
Look,
I'm sure everybody already knows that the problem with last year.
No. Dan and I did not speak.
Colin, I've just said just before you came on, we're taking a different approach this year where we're taking a back seat. We're not getting caught up in their rubbish. And I know I've got the best ego in the field, and I'm happy with that.
You already got caught up in some Marky Wells rubbish, so you're dragging the rest of us with you.
Look, your Wellses, your Wilsons, you can't get rid of those blokes. They're always going to be there.
They were so disappointed on the weekend when you didn't come.
I thought, what's the point of turning up? Seaport's got it won. What's the point?
Fair.
Chappers, this is the first chance we've had the opportunity to speak publicly after last year's Alaskan capitulation. I spoke off air to the Morrisons, and your name came up a fair bit as to why you came equal last. Was there any comment as to what happened last?
I think the chat came fairly in defence of me and fairly attacking on Dan with his selection of my. I had hit enough good tee shots earlier in the day. They were just ones where Dan decided that his shot was better half the time, so we went with his. Being the D grader and being already in the Morrison, I decided to keep quiet and let it play out, and it did.
I will say, sorry, in my defence, I will say that the worst thing we ever did was play a practice round with Colin because he showed what he can do, and let's be honest, we overestimated his ability on the day. I'm kidding. We just didn't choose
I think realistically, right, we came down to the last hole of the day. We knew what Colin is capable of, and we weren't able to execute on that last hole. That's all it was. That's purely it.
Second thing, but didn't I have a good shot on the last hole? That's what made it worse?
Yeah, correct. You put it to about 10 foot on the last.
Great.
Yeah, correct.
So, chaps, I'd like to get your view on, as a D grader, how much rake do you think you can pull? Like, if on the third hole, say Chock hits a drive 260 metres, you hit 190, are you sort of saying, guys, listen, let's take this? Or are you sort of letting it go? Where's your head at?
I think I'll probably change tactics this year to my last year where I kept quiet and might have a little bit of input on I think we should take my shot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this year you have a captain that actually will lead by example. So that'll be a big change for you.
And we'll listen.
Well, you yourself know that leading by example is a good thing. You don't do it, but you know it's a good thing.
Chap, you and I have had some good years together. Mate, you made your debut in C-grade with me as your captain, chap. We've had some good times.
I didn't turn up for most of that. Yeah, it was fair.
And then the year after, you were dropped to D grade. What a coincidence!
Chappers.
Who is your B grader?
Yeah, who's Berghouse?
Adam,
Jason Devine.
Oh,
what, the first year?
First year you were the D grader, weren't you? Yeah.
Second
I had Suarez, P. Moz, and then you, chap. And then 2 years ago, it was me, someone, you, Pat Morrison, you, and JD.
okay.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting. Chaps, the other two men in your side, I don't know if you've heard much about Rhys Jarvis, but Dominic Johnson, have you met Dom before or played with him or know anything about his sort of game?
I don't remember playing with him. I have met him, like when we're walking around at the start of the day. So I don't really know either of them. I'm sure Jared does. But we'll see how we go on the day. I'm not expecting any miracles, but we're just not going to come last at least.
That's right.
And obviously on the
work.
day, you've played 2 rounds out there now, Brighton Lakes. You'd say it's fairly close to where you're currently residing as well. How many more rounds do you think you might get out there?
That depends on how many more rounds you guys play out there and invite me.
There
They allow visitors if you're.
Yeah.
Royal get together out there. You never know.
Yeah, fair.
One easy way to get around down there is if you give them a call, they'll answer most phone calls.
Yeah, but I have a young child. Oh, you don't, and my child doesn't either.
What?
Yeah, my time.
All right, chat. Let's get into this. Let's get into the genuine stuff. Who's coming last?
Well, anyone with a kickless in their team is going to struggle
That's an easy target.
because they've just made it 3 of them, and 2 of them didn't hear good things.
Well,
And we already know George.
One man who knows the kickless as well is now joining us. He's worked out his verification. Mr. Dominic Johnston, welcome to the call.
All right,
Dominic Johnston.
He's made it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. It's
how many police checks did you need to get in, mate? You got anything?
a few. A few.
Dom, I'm going to cut.
And doesn't have a camera.
Dom, I'm going to cut to the chase. About 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, maybe, my phone started lighting up on a Sunday evening. There was text coming in left, right, and centre. Unverified reports of an individual, a 6'1" Caucasian man, who had possibly, after a poor chip shot, launched a putter into a tree. Now, I didn't believe it, but I'm hearing it more and more.
Yeah, look, I mean, the stories are partly correct. It wasn't thrown. It was used as an axe.
Tree chopping.
Yeah, it was actually on the 12th at Brighton Lakes, actually.
I understand that.
A bit ominous.
Tough hole. It's like a 200 metre par 4 with dog legs.
So what happened was I drove the green almost, and then I thinned the chip into oblivion, and I had enough. It had been a rough day, and I had enough. It was a very expensive lesson to learn, and I'm a changed man, so I won't be doing that again.
Gee, that's what you want to be hearing from your C grader, thinning a chip into oblivion.
Fine.
That's sort of stuff.
On the day we'll be taking his tee shot. He'll drive onto the green or close, and Chappers will probably chip it in. Eagle, thanks for.
I'm good. I'm good at the short stuff.
I've heard
that about you, Chap.
He walked into that.
Mate, you just tee him up.
DJ, I did hear reports too that you now have a handicap of around the 26 mark. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's almost correct. A couple of my good rounds fell off recently and weren't replaced by better rounds, so I'm actually back up to 27.
You gotta hate it when that happens, don't you?
Yeah, indeed. But look, I mean, I started at 36, and I think Kevin Dart can probably tell you that I deserve to be 36 at last year's CYFS. But I'm back. I'm getting down. I'm getting it down.
Kev only ever says good things about your swing, mate.
You didn't.
The drop of 10 in your handicap over a year is very good.
Yeah. Oh, look, I just like all of us, I just got to put a full round together, and that's that's obviously not easy to do. So yeah, I'll
Dom,
get
you've I believe this is your 5th invitational.
I think it's my 4th.
4th invitational.
Yeah.
You've been cruising in. You've gone under the radar big time down there in D grade, and then when we sat down to do the grading, someone was like, "Hang on, what's he doing down there?" So you've been promoted. What are your thoughts on being in C grade?
Yeah, look, I'd much prefer to just fly under the radar where there's no expectation on me whatsoever. But I guess taking out that left-hander award, people started to take notice.
Well done, mate.
Correct. Dom, something we've done this year as well, and this is going to be a masterclass because we've got 3 of you online. The committee has actually started to write the predictions of where they feel these teams will be placed going into 2024 season.
Yes.
I'm happy to kick it off if you'd like to. I think I've been quite nice in my predictions here. Chock, are you going to give us your prediction or not?
I will.
I'll let you start first then because you're the captain. I'll let you go first.
I believe that Royal will be coming 6th in this year's competition.
6th. Okay. Very good.
And that's someone from within our own team. Wow. That fills me with hope, Chock.
It worries me about his own game.
I had 15s written down, but I couldn't do it, so I scratched it out.
How many teams are there?
I'm not
15.
I'm not. I'm happy to go next. I'm not too far off that. I'm only double that, so I've got Royal in 12th.
Respectable.
I've got the predictions in from Swar and Tony. Swar has them in at 8th.
Okay.
Tony has Apple in 1st.
Well, this is Royal, so
This is Royal, you idiot!
I'm an idiot.
To say that because I was
Cut that.
Okay. So I got the predictions in from there.
This is a smooth operation as always, mate. Well done.
Tony's got Royal at 6th.
Okay.
And Swar has Royal at 10th. And my prediction is Royal is also at 10.
Yeah, well, I mean, anything can happen on the day. I've played a few of these, we could go incredibly well, or, we could finish like I did at Georges River that last time. We finished 5 over and 7 strokes behind everyone else. So, it happens.
Josh, you get to have the last say here. Where have you got Team Royal placed?
I think Royal have a lot of strike power. I think if they get going, they will not be stopped. And I think...
Say it without laughing.
Because they have a left-hander, I didn't put them in 15th. I put them in 14th.
I'm gonna be playing that soundbite over and over again, Skelly. And I'm on the course.
Very good. Very good, gentlemen. Well, Colin and Dom, thank you very much for joining. We've got 2 more teams to get to, but we appreciate your commitment to the CYFS committee and joining us here on the call. First time ever we've had 2 people from the same team on the call too, so that's a little stat to add to your collection.
Hang on, we just got to get DJ who he thinks is coming last. He's got to get on that bus.
Yes.
DJ, who's coming last?
Look, I haven't studied the form very well, but just out of spite, I'm going to say George Kickless last.
Gee, this team doesn't like George Kickless, does it?
He talks a lot of smack, Scout. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. The whole Kickless family deserve it. except for John and Vola. I take that back. But yeah, everyone else.
Thanks very much, guys. Thank you for your time.
Guys.
Thanks
Have a good one.
See you, lads.
Are you doing averages, Don? Is that your remit?
Yes, I've done these online. Jimmy set up a spreadsheet. Royal currently 9.67. That puts them in fourth out of the 4 teams we've done so far. Not super bad, but 9.67.
Single figures, I'll take that.
Yeah, absolutely, single figures.
My highlight of the week already is Jimmy giving talking about Royal for 10 minutes and then giving us apples tips.
It won't be in the cut, Josh. It doesn't matter. We'll just move on.
We might as well get to the next team because we do have the great Gavin Drayton sitting in the lobby. So I think we've got Team Mulberry up now. Shock, do you have the team in front of you for Mulberry if you want to walk through them or not?
Them right here in front of me. We've got James Dugnan, Gav Drayton, Brad Hawkins, and Jean Dubios.
Very good. The Dubois. Very good. Interesting team. Interesting setup. We know a fair bit about their A grader. C grader, obviously your brother-in-law. We'll get a bit more insight into how his game's going, but I might enter their B grader into the lobby, or from the lobby, I should say. We've got young Gavin here ready to go.
Is this first
Mr.
time
Drayton?
on the pod?
I think it is. I think it might be his first time on the pod. If he works out how to unmute himself, it'd be even better. There he is. Oh, very good.
Hey.
Welcome.
The course.
Hey, boys.
G'day, Gav. Welcome.
How are we?
How are you? Good. Thank you for...
Gav,
Donnie,
played the course.
I've made a good impression on Donnie. He's already left.
Yeah, he's had enough. Gav, played the course Sunday. That's the first time you've played it in a pretty long time, I think. What were your thoughts?
Oh, mate, I was lucky enough to have a round, yes. Pretty nice. Very nice change of course. Haven't played there since it's been redone, but I got a good look at majority of the holes that I played with. With Timmy Wilson, Marky Wells, and Kev Dart. So I had a great group.
Who do you see as your biggest threat out of those three?
Oh, God, you're asking the hard questions early. I didn't have any of those in my top three, to be honest.
Okay.
Timmy just hits the ball a mile. It was good to watch. Kev, It was good to play with Kev. Never played with him. Obviously been around for a while, and I've played with Marky before. He was great too. I'd probably say they're all just good. It was good to be in an A grade group. I felt good coming from B grade. It was.
And you were saying Kev has now completely changed his swing?
Kev had I actually got to hole 2 without Kev trying to help me with my swing. So
Record.
that was good. I was worried when I hooked my first drive that it was going to come after my first shot, but
he's not going to help a competitor this time of year. He's not going to.
It was great. Now Kev was great. Kev was good to play with. He wasn't happy when I drained a few monsters on the back nine, but it was a good day, mate. It was a good day. Do you
know much about any of your teammates, Gav?
I seen Dukes there on Sunday. He's our fearless leader, and he hit some very good. So I'm stoked to have Dukes. Great guy too. And then I've got two guys that I haven't met. I think I know their names. Hawkins might have played a couple of years, and Jean Dubois. So pretty happy with my team. I had a chat with the boys on Sunday. My chat must be amazing. Donnie's gone again.
He's never done this before, so you've got to be pretty happy with that.
Look, I had a chat to the boys who I was playing with on Sunday. Yeah, pretty happy with my team. And good colour, Mulberry. Stoked with the colour.
Yeah. So sorry.
Go on, Choc.
Into your C grader, Brad Hawkins, has been playing a fair bit of golf this year. Was improving his game until he broke his thumb about 4 weeks ago. So hasn't played since then. Bit of question marks there. He'll be doing a fitness test in a couple of weeks.
Didn't know that. Will he be doing the same? Is he doing the same fitness test as you're doing, Chuck?
Yeah. We will be down at the local park, running some tests, through the paces.
Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah, what sort of score do you think wins it? You played it on the weekend?
I said very, very confidently, I think 4 under. I think tougher than last year, I think. Like, it's a bit shorter, but I feel as though the holes, and there was a lot of big greens. So, I think it's gonna be quite fun, but I reckon 4. Timmy said Timmy was very confident that was low, but he hits him a mile, so that doesn't really sit well. I'm going 4 under.
Correct. Exclusively to this podcast, we can reveal as well, post around you're heading on to a cruise ship. Where are you actually headed on that cruise, Gav? That's a bit of local knowledge from yours truly.
So I am boarding a cruise at 1:30. Fuck, I've been sorry, I just swore on the pod. Geez, I've been under the pump though. Like, are you gonna make the cruise? Are you gonna pull out a go? I have to play in the golf day. I'm doing a comedy cruise for 3 days, just with the family. So it'd be nice, but got to get the golf out of the way first. It would be nice to go with that little trophy that I can see. That would be cool.
There you go.
I'll have to share it with Dukes and my teammates.
Just get them on the cruise. Just let them go with you.
Yeah, I might. They won't let me on the
family
cruise.
off.
So, Gav, before we get into the team who you think's going to come last, who do you think's coming first? You've been around it long enough now. You know enough people to sort of have an educated answer. Where do you think the threat lies for you?
I'm going Seaport. I'm going Seaport.
Wilson Suarez?
Timmy Wilson, Suarez. I've played with Suarez. Like, could pull out, a few birdies. Timmy
Eagles
played once. He reckons he's played once in 2024, Timmy. But I'm going him. I don't know who else is in that team. I don't think I do. I don't think
doesn't matter.
I think
that's right.
Timmy and Suarez.
Right.
I think Suarez. Prez can put on a bit of a show as well. I've played with him. Actually, he was in my Blaze team when I was lucky enough to win it. So
right.
I'm going Suarez and Timmy. That'd be very short. I love a bet, but I think that that'd be.
Well, they're calling Tim Wilson the Balkan Hills Hamleys, so that's a bit of chat around Timmy Duffs.
The Balkan Hills Hamley. That's very good.
And Gav, go on, Gav. Here we go. Go on.
What am I doing? Last
place.
Oh,
Who's coming last?
It's gonna be a count back for last.
I agree.
I'm going platinum.
Oh,
Last.
Wow.
Platinum and
Scadellas.
Platinum and Sky. Count back last.
Oh. Morrison, couple of Scadellas.
Good side. Good side. Good side. That's quite
I would pay money to see Sky come last.
Gav, if I come last, if I don't beat your side, I'm happy to put this wager on with you.
Here we go.
I think we're specials this year.
Has there been any other bets on today's podcast, or am I just
Not today's.
Not today's.
This is the first.
Okay. Well, look, we'll take it offline, I think, Donny.
Okay, that sounds good.
Hang on.
I'm gonna think about who I think will lose on a countback. I hadn't gone into that detail.
We'll get an interstate storm membership on it, Gav. How's that sound? We'll do that.
All right.
I reckon, Gav, you might not take the bet up once you hear a few predictions here. So.
Let's get to it. Absolutely, you can start, Chop. Hit us with what you got.
Look, I think injury cloud over the C grader. D grader's last outing was the last position, and A grader not playing as much as he used to.
He's setting you up here, Gav. He's setting you up.
What's your comment on the B grader?
B grader.
He said he's absolutely useless.
The B grader is the reason they won't come last. I have Mulberry in 14th position.
14 F 16. Okay, where was Sky on your list? Well, you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to say that.
Tune into the following podcast, please.
Disaster. Okay. 14. Look, is what it is.
Jimmy, what do you got?
Jimmy, Jimmy, where
I
have
was
you
just going to say, I've learned over the years that any prediction that starts with look is typically pretty bad. So look, Gavin. I've got Mulberry in 13th place.
13th. Okay. Oh, who's going to put me in 12th?
Hang on, is that 14-13?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I've got Mulberry in 12th.
Oh,
Well,
better.
you wouldn't believe it. You would not believe it. Nah, before we get to that, we do have the Tony and Prez. So Tony has Mulberry in 10th position,
it's getting better.
and the Prez has Mulberry in 14th position. I want to bring it up. I've gone through all the sums. This course absolutely screams James Dignan to me. This screams short game, long game. It screams a Gavin Drayton masterclass. I've got Mulberry in 4th position. Fourth position.
All right. I wasn't expecting that, but I absolutely love it. After I just come for you to come last, Donny.
I've got him in 4th. There's always a surprise packet. Mulberry is the surprise packet of this year's tournament. That's what I've got.
Love it. Love it.
Gav, absolutely outstanding, mate.
Thanks,
Thank
Gav.
you for jumping on.
Thank you for having me, and good luck to everybody on the day.
Yes.
Love it. Thank you, mate.
absolutely.
Thanks, boys.
Chat
Cheers,
soon.
Gav.
See you, Gav.
Bye.
Fabulous call from Gavin Drayton. Just working on those averages too. Chalky going to be very happy. These guys have gone to 11.17 average, so 11 basically. So they're 5th of 5 teams listed at the moment.
Lowest percentage so far. Yeah.
Lowest percentage.
Did we not last year? Did we not? Excuse me. Eliminate the committee members' prediction for their own team because they were almost always first.
We could try that this year, but no one except for Swar has put his team in first yet.
Okay, that's fine.
So we can check that though. I don't mind that if it's going to skew the results. I think more than happy to do that. More than happy.
Well, look, what I will say from an outside looking in, last week we were very complimentary to what our 3 guests. This week so far, there's been some really harsh truths straight down the barrel.
I think the critics have spoken, Josh. We've had a lot of critics based on last week's podcast. They said to bring a bit more gusto, and they also said to bring the bus out. And
to look at Colin, Chock, and Dom Johnston in the eye and tell them I think they're going to come second last. That's a tough pill to swallow, but here I am. So
didn't look tough. Okay, so now we move on to our
Go
final
for
team,
it, Chock.
which is Team Apple. Joshua, you are the captain of this team. You have Lachlan Greer as your B grader, Nathan Carson, C grader, and is it Lorraine Wilson?
Correct.
Lorraine Wilson. Blame it on Lorraine.
Blame it on Lorraine. yeah.
Mother of Tim Wilson.
Correct.
Josh, give us your thoughts.
Super strong team. I just think when it was drawn out, I was deeply impressed. Lorraine Wilson, I believe, plays a lot of golf at Castle Hill Golf and Country Club. Nathan Carson, difficult to get a gauge. Trev doesn't give you much, but I mean, if he's a Carson, he must have something. Lachlan Greer, reigning champ, very good athlete. And yeah, it's a good team.
It is a good team.
We've spoken about having females an advantage. You played on the weekend. Is it really a big advantage, do you believe, with the tee boxes being up?
I've got to be honest, I didn't really check. I don't know.
You're in the zone.
That's bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it probably is. I don't know.
There is one man I know is extremely excited to have you as his captain, and he's joining us live on the show. Just waiting for him to pop up. It is the one and only Lachlan Greer. Lachlan, welcome to the show.
Hi guys. Thanks for welcoming me. It's a Pleasure to be here. I'm still on a high from the invitational win, but it's been great.
You've taken the vest off, so I see, which is.
I just got it off. There is a bit of kids spew. I just had 12 weeks off, but should be right for the winner. But I think that'll be coming straight back to me anyway, so I might as well keep it at home. I think.
Yeah. 12 weeks. That sounds like at least 50 rounds of golf, Lockie.
50 rounds of golf. No, it was 50 rounds of hell. That's for sure.
I trust instant joy of him chipping and putting 3 times a week at the range, honing your craft.
Yeah, look, I just got back from a school event, and one of the boys had a notable character of Adam Scott, so we brought out the chipping mat. So for the whole 6 hours today, the kids taught themselves, and I was up there just looking at putting.
Very good, very good.
So, Lockie, you were second. Yeah. Sorry, you were first place last year. I think you were second the year before. So that did obviously see you promoted up into B2. Are you happy with that promotion, and do you think you can step up on the day?
Second question, I do believe I can step up on the day. First question, definitely not happy with it. Look, I started in D, got moved to C, got moved to B. I can tell you, I'm not getting that much better. So there's only one.
That's great to hear, Lockie. That's great to hear.
So I think if I was to ever become A grade, I think it could be time that we get rid of the invitational because
well, if you win this year, you'll be an A grade next year. So there you go.
Correct.
Yeah, well,
that's a promise.
Anyway.
LG, obviously, the man that's on this screen as well, you can see Joshua won the Kingfruit Kup on the weekend, which is a major achievement. Have you played much golf with Josh, and have you seen his teamwork ability? We know he can win individual events, but have you seen him work as a team before?
Look, I haven't played with Josh on the golf course. Maybe other times. But I actually didn't know that Josh won Kingfruit Kup until I saw Benny Jones a couple more mornings ago when he said that he shot the lights out. I think sometimes it is important to be a team player, and I think a new course is going to obviously have to have some people to carry you around. So I do trust Josh to lead the way. Obviously, me being a B grade, I might need to offer that as well. But look, I put all my trust in him. If there was any A grade that I did want, I think Josh was up there. I'm not too sure how the left-hander is going to go in that situation, and it's still a bit off-putting. But saying that, I do put all my trust in a A grader.
I'd just say,
so go Chop.
He has played 7 and still hasn't won, so I reckon it's probably a good idea maybe to overrule him on some decisions and maybe take that leadership role.
Yeah, let's change it up. Let's change it up.
Yeah, look. I think the decisions there are going to have to be made accordingly. I think starting on the 18th hole is going to really, I think offers a good opportunity. I think starting from over the water, about 141 from the white tees, I believe, as I was doing research. I think it's the hole that's going to really split the way.
Yeah. What club do you think you use over the water?
First thing of the day, I'll be taking 3-wood.
141. I just checked the wind. It's going to be a southerly as well. So, so look, I think I'll be playing probably a soft 5, get that comfortable out.
Yeah.
I do think it is the opportunity where if a D or C grader gets it on the fairway, or even I know it's a par 3, but not in the water, that confidence has to be up straight away. It's
I agree.
It is a bit of a make or break hole. They get it over the water, they're flying high. If they duff it into the water, it's trouble.
I also think it's great, and where the second team listed for 18, knowing that the Scadella clan's going first. So I think that's going to put a lot of pressure on them to tee up. I know Josh is probably going to be chatting probably now that there is water in front of them, so they'll be able to go off and we'll be able to set our heads and attack the pin.
Gives you a good opportunity to check what club they hit and all that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, sure.
Lockie, I meant to ask about your old man. Played one, came last.
Yep.
Last known whereabouts was not part of the missing person unit in the CYFS community.
I did get that text from the Crime Stoppers missing person as well. No, look, he's still kicking around, playing some golf. He's probably a bit scarred from getting called a loser all the time. But look, I've been there before. In saying that, I think I've brought 2 people over to the CYFS, both losers, which has been great. So I've decided I'm losing friends very quick, and at the age of 29, I can't be bothered making friends anymore. So yeah.
Just on that, I've gotten a question from Anonymous here. Does Reece Jarvis know that he's actually playing the event?
Yeah, look, I've sent him multiple texts. I think he's in game mode and he hasn't replied because he's scared. If Donny's going to ask I think we'll get back to the Jarvis soon with some of the questions that might be asked.
I've got one for you. You spoke about leadership. You've played a fair few years now. Who's the worst captain you've played under at the Invitational?
Worst captain. Ooh. So if I can recall, I've had Rob Scudella. I've had Curtis Dart.
Did you have Dean Lee one year? Is that a throwback? Or was that not you?
Is that
was his dad, I think.
Is that brothers to Ben? Ben Lee, catch my disease? Is that you know what? I think we've been I think I've been lucky with my captains. Being in the lower grades, they've always been great, helping little things, giving you the confidence. I think that's the main thing as a captain, is to just give those confidence. Look, what happened to George Kick last year was just amazing. Just seeing the captains, everyone pull through him. We know that he struggles a lot out there. So just bringing him in.
Maybe Josh could learn something there.
Yeah, maybe. So look, I'm not going to throw anyone on the bus. But yeah.
Georgia Kick captain more straight. I love it.
LG, who do you think's coming last? Let's throw someone under the bus here.
Now look, it does come with heavy heart. And as much as I am loyal to my current B grade champion, I think they may struggle a bit.
You're dead to me.
And I think we're going to see back-to-back loser to Reece Jarvis, Chalky Wheels, Dwayne the Rock Johnston. I just don't think they're okay. However, there is one saving grace that could potentially push him out, and that's Chappers. Look, I know when Don played with him last year, he spoke very, very high, and they thought leaving the last tee shot was their marking line. So look, just from experience, I think the A grade is going to help. And I know Chalk's been bumped up to A grade, and well done, Chalk. And you were monumental in my first win, but yeah, I've got you coming last.
Love it, mate. Love to hear that. I'll sleep well tonight. And who have you got coming first?
I've actually got Shark. I got Shark coming first. With Butler, Jimmy Morrison, Becker, and Barb. I played with Butler 2 years ago, and he was a great captain. Always on a high. I think Jimmy really. I've also played with Jimmy before. And I think, is that when we came second, Jim?
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah. Look, I think it is your time to shine. I think it's been years. Have you won one yet as well, Jim?
I've won 2, mate.
Won 2.
Yeah.
check your fucking stat.
I've checked everything else. I haven't got the bloody meterage for the whole 18. No, yeah, I reckon they're a good shout to win it.
I like it. We'll finish this as we finish every prediction with someone we have online, and it's great that we've got Josh on the line too to be able to hear this straight to the face. We're going to do our predictions, and I will start with those that aren't online. So Tony and Swar, the president. The Prez has Apple in 8th position.
Mhm.
So around that mid-table. And Antonio Qatar has Apple in 1st place. So winning the tournament, which is a big, big prediction. Current form suggests that's probably correct.
I think it should be noted that we are both Raiders fans, so that's probably look, that could be some reason. But if Tony's doing that, good luck to him.
You'd be loving it. You're in the green and the white.
Yeah, look, apples. I haven't got apples, so that's always a
it's a new color. That's right. That's half the battle.
Yeah, you always kind of get annoyed when you get a double color, and especially when you got to order the next size up because you put on too much weight over the past. So that's really good for the self-esteem. But no, the predictions seem fair. The most important thing, as we all know, I don't think we're going to come last. I
can guarantee you that.
Yeah, I think there's too many shit players out there for us to.
I'm happy to go next with my prediction then. Quality side, quality lineup. Could cause a lot of trouble on the day. Josh has had his one good round for the year. That's the only thing that scares me. I have Apple in 7th position, so better than halfway.
Yep,
we're very close to the top 6, but I put you in 7th.
I genuinely think this is a really good team. I have Apple in 3rd position.
Nice.
Which leaves Jimbo.
Look,
it's a look.
Yeah, I understand. To be honest, you're in that cement mixer in the middle. It's between 6 and 10. There could be anyone in any order. I've got you in at 9. I think you could be as high as 6, but I think 9's my prediction.
Mm-hmm.
And Scurry, just to round it out, what have you put yourselves as?
This is the strongest team I've ever had.
Wow.
You're an
Is that
echo?
in the last 7 years?
Yeah.
I have us in 10th place.
Wow. That's a bold.
And is it true that having Lockie in your team made you drop from 1st to 10th?
I pride myself on the fact that I won't come last.
What squad do you reckon's going to win it, boys? If you haven't already discussed about it.
I think 6 or 7. I think 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I reckon
7.
I'm on 4. I'm on 4 duty. I think.
4.
Yeah, I think.
Is everyone going to shoot over?
I think 3/4 of the competition will record a bogey this year. So
I think
at least 12 will record a bogey this year. I reckon.
We had a bogey last year, but we got 8 under as well. So I think.
True.
Have you got teams shooting over?
I think 3 teams.
I think 2 or 3 teams. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 teams. Well, I mean, the field has gotten bigger, so by virtue, surely the talent is spread further, right?
Yeah.
So you have to imagine a couple of guys are going to get shooting over par.
We have discussed this too. It's the best C grade field we've ever seen. I truly believe that. I think it's easily the best C grade field we've seen. Could even argue D as well. But
the fact that Pat Morrison's in there was a big bloody that's a steal of the draft, if you're my honest opinion. So Donnie.
So why do you have Sky any higher than you dickhead?
Wait, I've got my notes here. I've got you guys as my bloody Smokey.
There you go.
Ooh.
I like that.
Very good.
Very good. LJ, absolute pleasure as always, mate. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. This will be out tomorrow, so listen in, see how the other predictions have gone as well. But looking forward to seeing you on the 27th, and maybe we can get a hit at Woolaware.
Yeah, no dramas.
See how we go.
Thanks, LJ.
Thanks, LJ.
For driving the bus over an old teammate. See you later.
Sleep well.
Sleep well. That should be our sign off. That's got to be our sign off.
Well, is Apple the most rangy team so far? There was a 1st, the 10th, I believe.
Yeah, it's very. There's a 10. You're currently 6.33, so sort of right on the middle. You're currently ranked third of the 6 teams that have come in. So I think you actually gave your side the worst prediction out of everyone.
10th.
You did. You did out of everyone. We had Jimmy with 9, Prez with 8, me with 7. You had him at 10. So very, very interesting.
Just
Look, someone in the group chat, it might have been Drew's, I'm not sure. I did the exact same thing last year at Camden. About a month out, I shot like 2 over off the stick. And I thought to myself, it's mine by how many? So
my course.
That's right. So,
was it not the same year that Kev Dart won the Kingfruit Kup? He also came last. Is that correct also?
I was thinking this, the whole before the Masters, they play that par 3 tournament, and I don't think anyone's ever won the par 3
Correct.
and then the Masters. Coming down 18 on Sunday afternoon, I'm thinking to myself, have I just drunk from the poison chalice?
I've won both the same year.
Of
course, yeah.
What can you say?
I've got one last question before we finish up. We've all played the course now. Actually, Josh, it's fresh in your mind. What's the hardest hole on the course? Don't worry about indexes. What do you believe is the toughest? Like you can explain it. We'll try and work out what you're saying. But I've got my hole worked out. If you don't have yours
I've got mine
ready, I reckon, and mine will probably surprise. But I think it's very much the hardest hole on the course.
Come back to me. If you have yours, you go.
I'll start. So for me, it's the 9th. So the 9th is a par 4. I think you birdied it, to be honest. I've got it as the hardest hole. So you tee off, you have a long par 5 into a shortish par 3. Then you've got a par 4, danger to your left, danger to your right. You're then hitting into a green. You're probably hitting 150 to 155 meters in, water at the front, garbage to your left, garbage out the back, and a little creek running to the right. I think if you can come out of that scot-free using a C or D grade drive, I reckon you put you in a great position going forward.
So I think that's one of the examples of your drive has to be spot on there. You've got to be spot on. Because if you're the wrong side, you can't get at that green. It's really well protected.
Yeah, correct. And it undulates too. There's like 2 shelves on it from memory.
Yeah.
Tough hole. Chalk, do you have one?
One I'm thinking of, it might even be index 1, I don't know, but I think it's the 11th. So it's the first hole you play when you come back across the
11.
bridge.
Yep.
And it's par 4, maybe like 390 or something. And it's a bit of it looks a bit weird off the tee box because there's not like a straight fairway you're looking at. There's like trees that stick out and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think it's really firm ground. So that's one where it rolls a bit too much. All of a sudden you're behind a tree. And same thing, I think that green has huge undulations in it. And I think some teams are starting on that hole. That's going to be a tough start.
Yeah. I think that's the last groups are off there. Yeah, it's Cherry start there. Correct. No, just the one. Yeah, Cherry start on that side. So
I think, there's going to be some havoc on 18. I reckon out of the 60 players, I reckon 25 people will be swimming.
That's a lot.
You'll see the Scadellas at the end of the round with their ball retrievers.
Oh, mate. The little side note, Brighton Lakes has like no sort of massive hazards. There's heaps of every hole has like a creek or like a little sort of thoroughfare or like a little random bunker or a bloody tree. It's really, the carts are really good because you can press the cart on the screen to where the hazards are, which really helps. But it's frustrating in the sense you can't just hit it as long and straight as you want. You've really got to be careful.
Yeah,
correct.
Yep, agreed.
Jimmy, what did you have?
To be honest, I don't remember any of the whole numbers. My last game out there was a very long day. Not for me, but for others in my cart.
What?
The one that I think will be the most challenging. I don't know whether it'll be the hardest hole, but it's going to be a fun challenge. It's like a double dogleg right, dogleg left to like a green above water. Really cool
that's
hole.
7 par 5. Yeah.
Good hole. So you can't reach it. You can just reach it in 2, but it's fraught with danger.
I think you're talking about 13. possibly.
I think it might be 30. I think it's on their backside. But
That goes left and right.
yeah, it's good little tricky hole, bit of strategy in it. Where do you want to place your drive? Where do you want to place your second shot? Are you going to go after it? That sort of stuff. I think they're the more fun ones. And yeah, it's the big risk reward one.
Correct.
Yep.
I don't have anything else from us, but we will have more. Obviously, when we get close to the day, there'll be more instructions on where to be, at what time, etc. But still going through a few things. I think very successful night as well. We're 6 teams through, another 11. No, it's another 9 to go. So 3 more weeks of previews post tonight, and then we'll obviously have the famous captain's night, which we'll get going as well. Jimmy, anything else from you?
No, nothing from me.
All done. Choco?
All done for me.
Great to preview your team tonight as well. I think it's
great.
It's strong to get 2 committee members out of the way. Josh, same as you. I don't think we grilled you enough as the Apple captain, but I think your record speaks for yourself after last weekend.
Yeah, sleep well.
Jimmy, you without Swar being here, I think it's up to you.
I've got to get it right. I don't think I've done it before. Check your stats before I check. Is it I check them? I can't remember. How does it go?
Yeah, it's actually not that easy.
Right.
You're not
Check
president
your
material, Jim.
Your job safe, Swar.
See you guys.
Enjoy.
All right, cheers, guys.
Sleep well.